Well, good morning, Pierre. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate that we can be able to have this conversation. So, not many people know, but open classroom is important. In this time of pandemic, it's giving people not only the opportunity to survive, but to thrive. And they can take the skills, education, career to the next level. So I'm happy to have Pierre Dubuc, the founder, to discuss this important mission. So Pierre, tell us a little bit about your unique story and what I don't think everybody knows about your company, especially outside of France. So it'll be great if you can tell how you started. I think you started when you were very early, your teens, right? So I think this is a very interesting story that people can really appreciate.
Thank you and good morning, Yang. It's a real pleasure to be joining you, yet remotely. OpenClassrooms started 7 years ago, but on the basis of a personal project that we initiated with my partner, his name is Mathieu, in 1999. So it's been more than 20 years actually that we're creating online courses. And in 1999, we were extremely young because we were in middle school and we were 13 and 11 years old, and we were interested in creating websites. We couldn't find at this time great courses online to learn HTML, how to create a website. So Mathieu started to create the very first course on HTML, on web development in French, and he published it online for free to share with some friends to help them create their own websites. And from there, I helped him grow the website, this online learning community, all for free for many, many years, parallel to our studies in middle school, in high school, in college. And then it became the reference platform to learn coding in French-speaking countries. At this stage, we didn't have a business model. It was not a company. It was just a personal website for free, but we already had hundreds of thousands of learners every month. And then at the end of our studies, we decided, okay, maybe we're gonna make it a full-time job and create a startup company. So this is OpenClassrooms in 2013. So we created OpenClassrooms as a mission-driven company, and the mission is to make education accessible.
And when I first met you, I was extremely impressed by what you're trying to do. This is even before pandemic, and you started this company really young age, and in a time where internet and online education isn't as popular. So I would say you are one of those pioneers. What are the challenges do you see today, and how are you addressing those challenges?
We've got many operational challenges actually right now because COVID has really accelerated the transformation from in-person education to online. As we are on the higher education segment, but also on lifelong learning and reskilling and upskilling. So we've seen a strong acceleration and an uptake in enrollments, in usage, a shortening of the sales cycle in B2B as well, and also a really strong growth of the number of reskilling programs for job seekers, notably because of the economic downturn. So the main challenge right now for us is to be able to deliver more and more degree programs to students. The second one I'd comment on is our ability to replicate the model in other countries, the internationalization of our model, and especially when it comes to regulatory environments, because we're a degree awarding institution. So we're a college, a fully fledged college with degree accreditation, but degree accreditation is something that works on a country basis. So it's only country by country, and then you have to replicate the process. And the process to get a degree accreditation usually takes between 4 to 9 years in every country. So it's really long. And we need to replicate this. So this is also one of our challenges.
So clearly what you're describing is a classic case of startup to scale up, operational challenges, and as you're going to global footprint, replication challenges, And these are very typical startup issues that one have to go through as you want to permeate and share your class programs to the global basis. Now, if I remember when we met multiple times, but I remember last time I asked you what are the key differentiators of your program. And I just remember a couple of key things that was unique in my view. You said that we guarantee the diploma programs when your students are in the program for job change and being able to learn new skills, you guarantee to getting a new jobs as they are looking for the opportunities for change. I thought that, and you, in fact, I think you said you reimbursed even the tuition that they pay. I thought that was really unique and ambitious. So can you share with us, an audience, about what are some of the unique things you are doing to help people to change their careers?
Sure. It's a really good question. So what we do precisely is that we create and operate and deliver degree programs leading to tomorrow's jobs. So we offer associate, bachelor's, and master's degree programs fully online, and they lead to jobs mostly in the tech and digital industry, but also on transversal jobs. So tech and digital would be coding, AI, cybersecurity, digital marketing, agile, product management, UX design, that kind of jobs. And then we've got also transversal jobs like HR or sales or management, finance, accounting, communication, etc. We cover 50 jobs in total in English and in French. We go all the way from orientation, helping people to find out what their career could look like, which path they're willing to take, admissions, enrollment, training, project-based learning, the mentorship component I talked about. We're going to assess your competencies, the competencies you need to get the job, and those competencies will lead you to a degree. So you're going to get a master's degree on data science to become a data scientist. And towards the end of the program, we're going to offer you individual career coaching, again, via video conference with one of our career coaches to help you find a good job, aligned to your degree, but also potentially to help you create your own company or become an independent worker, if you will. We do guarantee you a job, meaning if you don't find a job within 6 months after your graduation date, we're going to refund your tuition fees. So it's a really strong commitment for us. It's also a way to align our social impact to our financials and to our commercial growth, meaning if we make revenue, we're going to deliver on a strong positive social impact with the job placement. And this is the way we actually track our social impact as a mission-driven company, is through the number of job placements, the number of students we place in the workforce, either young people finding their first job, either employees upskilling, getting a promotion, or switching careers, doing a mobility within the same employer, or job seekers getting back to the job market and finding a job again.
That's great. So, Pierre, I think it would be great if you can actually give some more background to the audience, the size and scale that you are in, because you're not just a small company. You actually done what I read is over 3.5 million people has taken your classes around many countries. So if you can give your perspective of the scale and size of the program you're running, as well as the some of successful programs that help the people to find new jobs that may be interesting for people to listen to.
So indeed, we train millions of students every month in 140 different countries. It's mostly in Europe, in North America, and in Africa. The three main types of students that we have are young folks between 18 to 24. Students, basically, we would call them non-traditional college students. Usually those non-traditional college students could be school dropouts, or people with disabilities, or living in a remote area, not having access to education. Then the second target is employees. So they could be from anywhere from 25 to 50 plus, and they're looking for an internal or external mobility. So it could be promotion, it could be upskilling, it could be reskilling and getting a new job, or getting a new job also elsewhere. And then finally, we've got job seekers, and job seekers also between 25 to 50 plus. They want to learn a new job in high demand and find a job as fast as they can. And it's quite balanced on the three different categories. But then depending on the path, because we go all the way from entry-level positions to really advanced and senior positions. So we can train school dropouts on, the first modules of an associate degree program, up to advanced AI and machine learning engineering at the master's level. So it's all the way up. And the full spectrum. So we have obviously a different audience depending on the program. And on some programs, we target especially 5 categories of populations for social impact. It's about the 5 categories of population we think are further away from a stronger employability. So we've got job seekers, we've got refugees, we've got people with disabilities, we've got school dropouts, and we've got people living in underprivileged areas. So we're more deliberate, we're more intentional to target those populations and find also ways to finance their tuition fee through apprenticeship programs with employers or with charities, foundations, or public authorities financing their studies with us.
So you're actually running a really good social impact program that are inclusive, including a lot of people that might not have an opportunity to learn and educate and further ahead in their careers. So that's really, really happy to hear that, given I'm also very much supporting this UN 17 sustainability goals, particularly around education and inclusiveness. Now, tell us about what are some of the universities and education programs you have today, because you're clearly doing something that are different, but yet very important part of education. So tell me your candid assessment of how is the traditional education is like today? And do you think, given where we are, the COVID-19 will continue? Or do you think it's going to change drastically going forward with a different kind of hybrid approach that are changing the way we're going to educate our children or even educating our workers?
Mm-hmm. It's a really good question. And I think it depends. The answer depends on the market, first of all. In Europe, it might be different from the States, from Africa, from Asia, etc. The first comment I'd make on this is we tend to polarize traditional in-person education versus online. But I think actually the strength of OpenClassrooms is not that it's online. It's more that it's focused on the employability of our students. So we're teaching skills, competencies. We're teaching you a new job, a job in high demand, through projects, through one-on-one mentorship with career coaching. And it's more about the methodology, the pedagogy that is new compared to a more traditional 4-year long bachelor's degree with credits and general education and lectures and that kind of system. I think this is actually the biggest shift, and you can do that on campus or you can do it online. We do it online, but you can also teach this way, teach differently, in a more career-oriented way on campus. I think most higher education institutions will have to rethink the way they teach and especially it will force them to be more career-oriented, to take care, especially of the student outcomes. How many students graduate? How many students find a job? Which type of jobs? Like, is that a good job? What salary? What is the average salary that they can get, et cetera, et cetera? Are the competencies of those graduates in line to what employers require in the local community? Those are really important questions, and it will probably force the shift to a competency-based education, but also to more online education to keep it affordable. And as you know, in the States, affordability of higher education is a massive issue with the rise of student loans and the increasing tuition fees that families have to burden with loans for many, many years.
So Pierre, do you think there is an end of a traditional educational system? And do you think it's going to change profoundly?
I don't think it's the end. I think Harvard and MIT will still be there next year and probably in 10 years. I do think there'll be a massive shift for more B and C players in the category, I'd say. I think Ivy League universities will have to evolve, but won't disappear. And I'm sure many people will still want to have the full college experience whenever the pandemic will be over. When you look at college students in America right now, actually the majority of those college students are not people around 18 and early 20s. They're actually in their 30s, 30, 35 years old, and they already had maybe 10 years of work experience, but they don't have a college degree, and they go back to college to get this college degree and fast track their career. And those people don't care that much about the college experience in the sense like the campus life. And that will force, the re-engineering of the programs clearly. So I'm not so much worried about the first category of universities, the research universities, but more about the vocational training providers, lifelong learning, about community colleges. I think those institutions will face challenges and will also have huge opportunities to widen their population, their audience.
Very good. So upskilling, reskilling, apprenticeship, all these programs are helping really changing the people adapted to jobs that could be impacted by technology, digital transformation, and how do you adjust and how do you adapt and how do you educate and how do you be able to contribute. And I think these are challenges all the corporations that think about. And I think you are really providing tools and opportunity to enable that. So thank you very much, Pierre, for contributing to the society and making an impact.
Thank you, Jan.